Hey everyone, welcome to Across the Great Iron, and it's week 2 in the NFL. And yes, I am very excited. And today, I'm doubly excited because my Premier League team, Arsenal, just did a number on their rivals, Tottenham Hotspurs. If you don't know about that, go check that out. Absolutely great game. The rivalries are so intense, in the Premier League, especially the North London derby. And I know what you're saying. This is an NFL show. What are you talking about, the Premier League? But rivalries are very important. And we're going to dive into a few rivalries today because I want to talk about the Saints and the Cowboys. I want to talk about that game. I also want to talk about some of the other games that are slated, today, week 2. Listen, I know there was a Thursday night game, Bills and Dolphins, and hey, listen, Tua, all the love, all the prayers going up to him. The successive concussions is just ridiculous, right? People are talking about whether, he needs to be retiring or not. But that's going to be a tough decision either way that he goes. But the Bills own the Dolphins, and it shows that they do own the Dolphins. And there are a number of matchups, this weekend where teams traditionally own the other team. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that goes. But I want to start off with the Dallas Cowboys. It's no secret Dallas Cowboys are my team. I love the Dallas Cowboys. I'm passionate about them. Even though I live in United Kingdom, I've just grown to love the Cowboys. I've been following them, for a very, very long time. And Dallas has started the week, the season, very good. They didn't have to do much, admittedly, in that game. But what's important in the NFL is wins and losses. You gotta have your wins and losses. Reminds me of the movie, the Denzel Washington movies, where the rookie was like, gotta have your smiles and cries. It's all about the smiles and the cries. And it's all about the wins and losses in the NFL. Absolutely the wins and losses. And you start with a win, you can never go. And I think that, this game is going to be, a lot of themes are going to come out in this game. And it's a 6 o'clock game for us in the United Kingdom, so not long to go. I think there will be clash of identities. I have some notes here, and everyone, is talking about Dak Prescott. In terms of what he does in the offense, he's just got his money. CeeDee Lamb has just got his money. But I think the identity of this team is the defense. I think the defense holds, the straw that stirs the drink, to use the Jerry Jones analogy. And, and for me, it's about Micah Parsons. It's about the versatility of Micah Parsons, about Micah Parsons showing up all over the field, and this would always keep the offensive team guessing. You got to look out for Micah Parsons because he can wreck the game. He can absolutely wreck the game. So I think for me, the identity for the Cowboys is about the defense, and you need to look at what he's doing. Then we've got to think about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is no stranger to the Dallas Cowboys, and we all remember that Thanksgiving game in 2021. Derek Carr, that game was painful because, we lost that game 36-33, I think, and overtime, lost to Derek Carr. So Derek Carr played well in that game. Some even argue that he played better than Dak Prescott. So I don't think that, playing against the Dallas Cowboys will be anything of, that will frighten Derek Carr. So I think, Derek Carr, has got, Olave, and I think there's going to be a real battle there. Trevon Diggs, is going to be on his game, as as we expect. So I think there's questions there. For the Dallas Cowboys offense, we've got to think about, for me, it's going to be about play calling, right? That for me has been, the thing you've got to think about with the Dallas Cowboys, right? Play calling, when it seems like, of course, it's just one game, right? But that was always one of the things that really annoyed me last season in terms of play calling. Hey, listen, I'm no expert, right? But sometimes, I just look at, the game, and then you do a run, is not successful, another run is not, and then another run, then you're 3 and out, and then you go, or you pass, and, now you're thinking, well, if you pass the first time, it's not going, why don't you try and take a run to reduce that yardage, and then, try and get back on it. But hey, I'm not a coach, but it just looks frustrating when it stalls drive. So I think that, with Marshall Latimore, there, and really he plays well against Dallas Cowboys. Really, I think the last time he had a pick as well, against us. So, I think, I think for me, this game is going to be special teams, right? I think, the Saints have got a reliable special team, and we've got a reliable special teams as well. It might be field positions. We might be going back and forth of field position, but at least the Dallas Cowboys have got this confidence that if you can get over the halfway line, Aubrey is there, right? And you can depend on him to actually hit that ball in. So, you know what? I'm going to go, my prediction in this game, just check it out. So I wrote down that Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game 24-21. I think it's going to be the kind of game that might be decided by a turnover, or, by a field goal. So it's just 3 points, that I'm looking in that game. To be fair, people can argue that, the Saints could win this, but I don't. I look at their first week performance against Panthers. And let's just say, I don't think that they'll be blitzing Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott, 16 touchdowns and I think 2 interceptions last season when opposing team blitzed him. So I think they'll be wise not to try and blitz Dak Prescott. All right, okay, so that was the Dallas Cowboys game. Some other games there, Raiders, Ravens, obviously the Ravens lost in that game, in their first game against Mahomes, but hey, that can happen, right? That's not a bad loss, right? You're probably going to meet each other again further down the line. So I'm going to go with the Ravens to win this game, 27-17. I think that's my score. Chargers against the Panthers. Panthers looked awful. They look sorry. Really, really look sorry in that game. I just think that Justin Herbert, Bryce Young, I think Justin Herbert is slightly the better quarterback right now. So I'm going to go with the quarterback in that one. I'm going to go with the Chargers victory. And that is going to be a 34-24 game. I think could be as much as a field goal and a touchdown in this game to win the game for the Panthers. So I'm going with 34-24. Buccaneers, Lions. Now, this is going to be a really interesting game because, I think Todd Bowles is a very defensive-minded coach. And I think, this game will be tight. Dan Campbell, it's all about effort. It's all about, this. I think is if Jared Goff, he just has the slighter edge. But hey, listen, Baker Mayfield played well. 4 touchdowns. He was doing stuff, right? So it's a tough one, but I'm just gonna go with the Lions, in a low scoring kind of game. So I'm gonna go 23, 20. Lions to take that one. Then Colts Packers. Listen, I don't know what the Packers are gonna look like, without Jordan Love. Anthony Richardson, he was a little bit, I think that I'm just gonna give the edge to the Colts. I think the Packers to win this one they have to run the hell out of the ball, right? To win this one, and I just think I don't know if that's sustainable, especially if the Colts go on to an early win. So you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna go with the Packers to win this one. I'm gonna go 21-17. I went the other way, but I feel like they've got a good coach actually, and I think they will find ways to win this game. So I'll go with the Packers on this one. Browns, Jaguars. I think this is going to be a defensive battle in this game. I think it's going to be defensive. Oloku, for the Jaguars, is a really, really good player. He pops up a lot, so, and the Browns didn't look very good against the Dallas Cowboys. But I still think that Deshaun Watson is not quite right. And let's not talk about what's happened off the field, but I just think, they're still quite not there. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win this one, but I'm not expecting crazy scores. I'm just going to go with a 17-13 in this game. 49ers against Vikings. I cannot bet against the 49ers, right? Sam Darnold did his thing, but it was against the Giants, right? So, hey, I expect a physical game, but I think Brett Purdy will do the business. Yeah, Nicky Bosa wrecking havoc. Give me the 49ers in that game. I'm going to go with the 49ers in that game. Seahawks Patriots. Patriots surprised everyone. Surprised everyone. And I don't think it was a fluke, beating the Bengals, in week one. So I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one. Um, I think I'm going to go with Patriots 20, Seahawks 17. Well, I'm gonna go with that. Jets Titans. Hey, listen, I think this is redemption for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't play so badly, but I think that Aaron Rodgers has done his relax, thing. He's had that relaxed pep talk, So I'm gonna go with the Jets in this one. Jets, Titans. I'm gonna go with a field goal to win this one. So I'm gonna go with 27-24. I'm going to go with 27-24 in that game. Giants versus Commanders division. These teams play each other very, very strong. I'm going to give the Commanders the edge on this one. I think so. It's really a coin flip when division teams play, but I haven't seen anything from the Giants to give me a lot of confidence. And I know it's week one, but I feel like the Commanders will play this close. And I'm just going to go with a 19 for the Commanders and a 16, for the Giants. I think that's how I'm going to go in that one. Rams Cardinals. Um, I'm going to edge with the Rams on this one. I think this could be close to a blowout. I think the Rams were very unlucky to lose that game in the first week of the season. So I'm gonna go with 27 for the Rams and 13 for the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray is gonna be running around doing stuff, but I just think that the Rams have got better weapons there. So I'm gonna go with the Rams on that one on almost a blowout. Steelers Broncos. I think that if you look at, and I was watching Speak, and Chase Daniel was breaking down all the plays, for Justin Fields, and he was talking about 39 plays and, only 5 negative plays. And I think that um, Mike Tomlin has a way of making his players, if remember we had Pickett, right? And he was playing decent. They still didn't have a losing record. I feel like you can put any quarterback in Mike Tomlin's system and he will make them effective. They're not going to go win the Super Bowl or anything that ridiculous, but I think that they can stack up wins. So I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this one against the Broncos. I'm going to go with 23-10, to win that. Chiefs Bengals. Right now, I was talking about rivalry and teams owning each other, and you could argue that Joe Burrow plays well against the Chiefs and usually wins against them, but I feel like I don't know yet. I just It's hard to bet against the Chiefs. I think it is. It's just hard. They find a way to win. And like I was saying, Manchester City in the English Premier League, they always find a way to win. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs 31 and Bengals 28. To see, it's gonna be close, right? It can go either way, but I just can't bet against the Chiefs, at Mahomes. So I'm just gonna go with Chiefs 31, Bengals 28. Now the Bears Texans. Oof. Listen, everyone is talking about Caleb Williams. He didn't really do that, anything amazing, but he didn't have a lot of negative plays. So, for me, but I think this is gonna be our chance, right, to really see if Caleb Williams is all that, right? And I think that playing against CJ Stroud in the Texans, I think it's a nice measuring stick, right? Because I think if you're playing him against established quarterbacks, you might think, well, maybe it's not that fair. He's a rookie coming into the league. But I feel like he can compete with CJ Stroud. So, but I'm still going to give the Texans the edge, right? I've seen too much of CJ Stroud not to believe in CJ Stroud. So I'm going to go with the Texans 20 and Texans and Bears 14. So yeah, maybe they get 2 touchdowns in that. Maybe I don't know, maybe 2 field goals and a touchdown, so 6 and 7. maybe 13. You know what? I'm gonna go with 20. To the Bears, and then 13. To sorry, 20 to the Texans, and then 13 to the Bears. Right, Eagles against Falcons. Listen, right, it's I would love to say that I think the Eagles are gonna lose in this game. See me, I'm already saying, I was thinking that the Eagles will lose, but um, I don't think they are as sad as it would be. I think Eagles are gonna start 2-0. They're gonna win this game, and it's not gonna be close, right? I'm going for Eagles 30, Falcons 17, because I just think that Eagles, they can take the ball away. They've got good defensive players, they've got weapons, and I don't think Jalen Hurts is gonna do all the stuff. Probably still gonna throw his interceptions in this game, because he's the interception king, and it's amazing why nobody seems to be talking about the picks that Jalen Hurts are throwing now. I remember when Dak Prescott was throwing the picks, everyone was like, "Oh, Dak Prescott, pick here, pick here, pick here," but no one's talking about Jalen Hurts. But I think they'll win this one. I think they'll win this one 30-17. Um, yeah, for me, that is my prediction, for week 2 of the NFL. Of course, my Dallas Cowboys will win this game. Game starts in another 1 hour. So don't forget to like and subscribe, to the channel. And thank you for everyone. And we've hit, 4,000 subscribers. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you all for watching the channel, and it just gives me encouragement, to keep, posting content here. But put in the comments, who do you think, in my prediction, who do you think is going to take it? Drop your own predictions below as well. And we'll see you in the next one.